Hey, and welcome back to Pathologic Classic. On the last time, an Inquisitor has indeed entered the town, but the person in question wasn't the man we expected, or rather was a woman named Aglaela Lilik. Today, well, should be said that tomorrow apparently an army is coming. The Termitary has also been unlocked for our own inspection. Of which, let me get the quest log out. We already have a quest for. Apparently there's a black market of fakes of, well, Artemi Burak's panacea concoction. And we'll go see if that's all true. Since that's a quest we have early on in the game, we might as well go off and complete it before the start of the day quest, as per usual. Oh yeah, this is happening. So, remember yesterday when I was talking about how the districts evened up to the cut of a bull? Well, the metaphor is quite literal. The town itself, its structure, its shape, is based off of a bull as well. So, this bull project not only worshipped bulls and named districts after them, but they shaped the town after the bull too, even having the abattoir be its little gut here. No, this is the gut. Not sure what this big ball is. It's obviously a brain. The horns can be interpreted as the polyhedron. Yeah, very... Things are getting weird. If they weren't weird already, there's just more layers of insanity to all of this. Top of that, the plague is continuing to rage out of control, infecting the spleen, the gut, the flank, the chine, and the skinners. The mouth, marrow, backbone, hindquarters, and crude sprawl are burnt out. And today's bound is Andre Stomatin. Andre is in danger. I ain't walking into that again. So, the elusive Termitary. That's our first destination. It's one of... well, it's the second superstructure we'll be able to enter. Someday, perhaps we'll even enter the abattoir. Let's head down and check out the situation at the Termitary. We'll try and desperately not to get bit by rats. There we go. Alright, we should check out today's prices. Oh, they're low as normal. Well, relatively. But, not too bad. I also have no use for the Executor's outfit. We were never able to get it to Burak. So that's unfortunate. But, I'll take some food. Let's head up from down here. I think there probably isn't more garbage bins, but I do wanna take this route so I can use back routes to avoid the firebombing guys. How come this place never runs out of you sots? You've been ordered to stay in. That's what I'm saying. Drunks are always lucky. As the folk wisdom goes, it's the same here too. How can the bacteria survive inside you when you're pouring so much Twirin down your throat? I have no idea how you can drink this venom. 'Tis even that makes you live twice as long. I doubt that. One life you live is your own, another is the one Twirin grants you. This is an herb greener than wormwood, it is, Professor. Have a specimen for your microscope. It'll be more accessible to you then. And my microscope is a spirit still. I can see that. It's a shame it's not as precise as mine. What a great conversation. You don't even have a bandage. Repair my weaponry, thank you. And there's the outside of the Termitary, at least. Used the wrong weapon, but it works. Reload this, and we'll get the arsonist out. There we go. Simple. Combat's easy when you have an expensive resource to expend. And a good shot, which I sometimes very much do not have. And I am not going to deal with this. Hello, shopkeeper. Bye, shopkeeper. This district cannot get a break. The Skinners feels like they're infected every other day. I've only seen it clean for like 2 days since the infection outbroke. I'm sure that's a word or something. Yeah, we're out of that ammo, so we gotta switch to rifle. So, the Termitary. Finally enter. Pathologic is not responding. Oh. There's worms, butchers, and huge bloodied sacks. Body bags, worms dying. The Termitary is not clean of infection. I don't know when it outbroke, but unfortunate. Sleep well, worm. You had a lot of money for a crude, unshapely, almost clay-looking thing. Sleeping bags, corpses everywhere, and Artemy.
In truth, we're not powerless. Changeling spoke to the foreman. Could it be that he had accepted her as one of his kind?
Shouldn't have come, Moyun. It's dangerous here. You're not used to dealing with them. What are you doing here, Barak? I went to the abattoir and came back with something of value. Listen to me, Oyun. If my hope proves to be true, we'll have a serum by tomorrow. Well, that's some news. So what was that thing you came back with? Blood. Blood again. I'm not ready to say where I got it, but it may very well be what Stock worked on. Only better. It's alive. Look if it has, you know... What? Antibodies? Yes, antibodies. You already know what living bacteria looks like, as well as dead ones. Stock told me all about that. I think it won't be too hard for you to establish what this blood does for the infection. So you want me to examine this blood under a microscope? Just that? If you study this blood, Oyun, tomorrow I'll hand you a dose of functional panacea. If you prove this is the blood we need, might be I hand the panacea to you today. I trust your word. Is this convincing enough for you? If this really is a miracle cure, absolutely I'll take that. It is. Where do I find you? I'll be around here. Still have a hell of a lot to do. If there's trouble, I'll let you know. Then we should meet in that basement under the corpulent workshop. Alright. I got a thing of blood.
The wound hurts.
Brewers of fake panacea are holed up somewhere here in the Termitary. Do you know anything about that? What? Someone's making fake panacea in here. But this is just an unproven rumor. Oh.
Changeling spoke to the foreman.
Tell me, how do I get inside the Avatar? The gates are blocked with boulders from the inside. When the time comes, butchers roll them aside. You can find a way in after that. Wait for the right moment. And when are the boulders rolled aside? At what time? There is some kind of regularity, but I haven't cracked it yet. Tried to squeeze it out of the Mother Superior, but she's only fooling around. Can never understand if she's serious or not. Are they going to be open today? There is a massive butcher feud inside. They're fighting each other. Something displeased them quite a bit. I might have played a part in it, I'm afraid. The Mother Superior claims that everything should quiet down after midnight. Maybe about 2 o'clock they'll roll away the boulder blocking the main entrance. Let you in after that if the Mother allows it. Why are they fighting? Yesterday, after they were released, they had a council of sorts. Today, they split in half. Some deemed the foreman's death. Other, it seems, want to have it their way with Olginskys. In all honesty, I'm confused and don't have the slightest idea what's happening. The Mother says there's been a fierce battle in there. But have you been to the Termitary before? Yes, I have. Don't ask who let me in. Who are you afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything, but way too many people died right in front of me these last few days. Not of the plague, but rather by malicious will of those too keen to execute their idea of justice. You know what I mean. Yes, I understand. Fascinating. Although the sounds of butchers, worms, and God knows what else, their screams echo throughout the abattoir as part of background music of all things. So, there's a bunch of worms holed up in some room, I think on this wing. Just have to check doors. What are you doing? Peace to you, Oyun, peace to you. Live and let live, so say the wise. Here you are, you can of worms. So can I place an order? You're more than welcome. We're not asking much, merely 30,000. But for you, Oyun, it's free. Dead gruel, never better. All the rot comes out, all the evil hexes come off. Oh yes, my good men. Merely 30,000, huh? I'm sure you're not underselling, mate. Hey, Oyun, have mercy, let us be. We won't sell anything anymore, we won't cook the gruel. You let us live, you don't turn us into the Mother. We tell you an interesting thing then, you'll be pleased. As gamey as it... Listen, it's really gamey to just say, oh, these worms are trying to make money during a fucking desperate outbreak. As long as they stop their scam, they can live. It would be stupid to just waste their lives over something this simple. Speak. I'm not going to touch you. My word. We're guilty. The Boost's son is twice as guilty. We just fool around and mess about. He's buying up the real panacea. Brought it from everyone who got one from Burak. Took from everyone, has it for himself. Shoot him, Olyon. Threaten him, rob him. Take his panacea for yourself. Thank us. Vlad the Younger, you mean? Yes, Oyun, yes, him. The bloodsucker. Have mercy on us, Oyun. Don't shoot us, slack-baked folk. How do you know about all this? Lots of people come through here, Oyun. This we know from someone holy, someone worth trusting. Right, figures. So she's into panacea now too. Only Burak can make panacea. Only Burak knows the lines. Burak gave his vials to Bodo's children, gave to the Boost. The Boost's son took it all to sell to evil people, to bloodsuckers, for iron and gold. Have mercy on us, Oyun. Let us go. Never again until the earth takes us back. Fine. I'll tell the mother about this room, though. You have half an hour to get lost for good. Fascinating. So, perhaps we can get multiple traces of panacea today. And talk to Vlad and get the one from Burak by completing his quest. In all hopes, by doing this, we can not only help Burak create more panacea, because he knows what it's made of, hopefully, we may also have the panacea distributed correctly to the bound. And here we have the Mother Superior.
Misfortunes never come alone. That's what Dad used to say.
You've got a stain on your nose. I just wanted to have a little chat with you. Please tell your servants to relax. They are not servants. They keep me out of harm's way. Fine. Were you here when the epidemic broke out? Epidemic? When people got sick and began to die. Of course I was here. If not for me, everyone who's upstairs would also be sick and dead. I was here, so there wasn't a Mother Superior in the other building. That's why everyone's dead there. Are the people upstairs alive? When we knock on the ceiling, they say they're about to come down and make us all regret this. Regret what exactly? I don't know, but it's terribly scary. They're very, very angry with us. Want to get back at us. Let them stay where they are. Why are they angry? Because we didn't feed them. They locked themselves away on purpose. We didn't make them to. It's their own fault, not mine. Yes, definitely not yours.
Lyra is a head taller now. Yeah.
Taya, I want the Abattoir passage to be unlocked. Immediately. Passage closed. It's forbidden to go there today. Why? It's dangerous inside. That's fine. I'm not afraid. But I am. It is not supposed to be open. Today is a festive day. There's a beast inside. What? It is not to be talked about. Go away. You've asked too many questions already. Alright, I'm leaving. I have a feeling we'll need to talk to her today or tomorrow, but as of right now, we have 2 side quests to deal with. These longer load times have me concerned. I wonder if some kind of memory leak is occurring. I have memory leaks so that when my computer is on for too long, it just all starts slowing down. Mentioning this game is probably a bit inappropriate, but I was in a call with a friend while I was just playing single-player Minecraft of all things, and I was floating around in creative looking for a nice place to build, and because of the kind of leak, because I hadn't reset my computer in 2 days, just this big black almost looked like tentacles of just glitched textures sprawled towards me. and then the game would close itself. Sounds like a creepypasta, but it's just a... I can explain it. It's just, glitched textures as a result of the memory leak, and the expansion effect is just, more textures getting corrupt. And then the close crash is called something like a soft crash or something like that. This person is sick. No, don't blame yourself. That's not your fault. One of your rival counterparts must have overlooked them, or left them on purpose. Nevertheless, no entry. It's under quarantine. I keep a sorrowful watch. Can't they be helped? Even being one of the bound, they're just an ordinary person. They can be cured, just like any other. You're the healer here. It's your area of expertise. Alright, I'll try to think of something. So here's our first instance of sick bound. This is Sticky. Sticky is sick. And Sticky is the bound of, the horror specs. Which means, at least implicitly, Artemy failed one of his main quests, resulting in Sticky, well, getting sick with Sandpest. I have the option to cure him, with those miracle cures I've been hoarding. The reason why I've been hoarding those schmouters, it's not because I'm, well, that greedy. It's because I can cure people like Sticky. That was a good whiff, Linder. There we go. So, whenever I get around to it, I will be curing Sticky. And yes, powders hurt like hell, apparently kill children, but that doesn't actually translate. You can give powders to any of the children bound and they all survive. It's just a... Oh wow, the Executor in the distance, that means Anna is also infected. And Anna is that of the Changelings. That fucking blows. So that's 2 people I need miracle cures for. On day 8. More will get sick in time. And I have 2 other miracle cures left. Well, you know, that I know I don't need to use. So right now, I will head down to Rubens to look at the infected blood, and then I will go to... Oh yeah, I'm going to fucking extort Vlad the Younger. Because, can't be hoarding panacea. It's for everyone. I also, realized something recently. It's kind of a useless tip, but, you know, it's something. There's actually 2 kinds of rats. There's the rat that kind of has an area of effect detection range, and then one where you have to be in front of them. Which is an odd distinction, honestly. But that's actually a thing. You can also pick up the one that doesn't notice you. You can walk up behind them and press E on them, and you get to pick up a full rat. Ruben's missing, but I just want to use a scope. Oh yeah, this is much different than what we saw before. I don't quite know the terms to describe this, but it's unusual. Perhaps it is the blood of the Shabnak we were looking for during the witch hunt. Or perhaps it's something more mundane. But for now, I'm going to stock up on bullets.
He who loans a minute owes a year in interest.
6 and 19 rifle rounds, I will do. And this is kind of cheaty, but I know later on in the game I'm going to need to buy a rifle, and this is a time where rifles are worth quite little due to the economy being halfway decent. So I am going to buy one of them and stash it later. Anyways, I'll keep a morphine. Kerosene is something I barely use, but you might as well carry it. Imagine just selling Burak's blood and just being like, yeah, I did that. What are you gonna do about it, mate? Anyways... Nah, that's good. Cool. So now, let us head up to... yeah, Vlad the Younger. I also want to check out... there's 2 bound people that we have not met. There's a 3rd one, but he's not accessible for us, I think, during the story entirely, so, he might as well not exist. But... Castle of the Sullen Halves. I just want to meet them real quick. More specifically, I want to see if they've been infected. I'm kind of taking a look at, you know... oh, this is eerie. Just want to make sure that people are okay.
Where's my cat again? I hope he doesn't escape.
What the hell are you doing here, Doc? How do you know I'm a doctor? Everyone does. I'm Chifton Nutkin. If you see a big grey cat around him, here, call him Artist. And he will, if he calls me Bachelor.
They screwed my food up. I can't walk on my own now.
Nothing important, I'm just doing the rounds. Yeah, this kid's fairly irrelevant for us, but I'll be doing the other stories, so we'll see him later. If it was more convenient, I'd also check out this red cart over here, because that's another bound character. Multiple times during the story, we've heard of a girl named Murky, and that's where she lives. And she is another part of the bound. We have no business with her, but she is out there, and she's in the flesh. I actually checked it out. During the first day, I wanted to check something out, because of what, Vlad the Younger said about some areas out in the steppe being infected. And I just wanted to check out the little cots and check if they are indeed infected as like an Easter egg or something. But the answer to that was no. I also checked if Murky actually spawned for the Bachelor, and she does. So if you just want to say hi and see what her introductory text to the Bachelor is, you can do that. Oh, this is a good combat. You guys do that. Die will be the lecherous fiend that waits for him to die. Nice. I also shot randomly. Whoops. We'll scare off the rat by shooting this arsonist up here. Rat. Hey, mate. Fear me, for I am death. That guy was weirdly slow on the draw. I'll take some of these and I'll increase my immunity for today. There. One second. Rat. And I'll get out the knife. There. Reason why you want to keep a knife around. They're decent for dealing with rats. Rats usually aren't a big problem, but sometimes there's like enemies that you don't want to despawn, and so you use the knife to get the rat out. It's also incredibly wonky to hit the rats, so you're gonna genuinely... Rats are the one enemy that you're going to have to, like, train to kill. You're gonna have to do a lot of reloading to get the timing on how to hit a rat. Just pathologic things. You can shred through arsonists, but the rat is the hardest enemy in the game.
I am crushed by these walls.
Well, I found the worm poison makers, but they told me that you, Master Vlad, have also dabbled in the panacea black market. Yes, when I learned that Burok had concocted a panacea, I decided to completely seize the flow of goods. That's how the informers came to know. I requested on purpose. Make no mistake, this isn't about greed. I simply thought it would be prudent to control the market. One would emerge anyways. So your concern for the bound was only a disguise. You're only ever concerned with taking a profit. It seems my old reputation will take a while to get rid of. Your knowledge is outdated, Bachelor. Things have changed. I have changed. This morning I wanted to seize the panacea black market, so I bought up everything that Burok has made and distributed. And I gave away all that I had bought. No money. Well, a little money, so that it wouldn't look like I'm offering a donation. I gave it all to the bound, the ones who needed it the most, in my opinion. Those who nearly died because of me. Well, who? Promised to keep their names a secret. I'm wary of Clara, you see. She's very good at getting what she needs from people. Both words and things. Well, one of them is Mark Immortel. He's not hiding it, but his situation is different. He's running a plague house, after all. But you have spared at least one for yourself, I hope, haven't you? I need neither money nor protection from death now. The latter because I want to give the plague the opportunity to punish me for my acts. And the former, please spare me your mockery, is because I now aspire to something. Call me sentimental, but I won't reveal it. Don't want to scare the dream away. You've given me serious food for thought. Thank you. If Vlad the Younger's words are to be believed, Mark Immortel is one of the people who received panacea from him. Well, that's a lead. Let's go see what he has to say about it. I sure hope he actually distributed it to the bound and is not just lying to me to my face. Which at this point, I would fully expect from this game. Please, rat. There. Jeez, dealing with rats while having plague blown into your face constantly. The morning of the 8th has come, 247 infected, 382 died, gone missing 49, 3,000 people have died, it all ends in 5 days, the army arrives tomorrow. By the end of which the Bachelor can prove, once again, that the Earth is never up to any good. What was I saying? Yeah, this is the one I'm using. Well, that shot didn't work. Neither did that one. Great. I hate... Where did I get killed by? Okay. I think I might have got knifed. Whew. This game is hell. And I'm at Ruben's. Split recording time. Alright, cutting back, I did a few things differently. Same conversation choices, same things bought, but I skipped back up to the stone yard, and I stashed away the Executor clothes and my rifle. I also just generally played better with rats and stuff. I also looted some bins along the way, but it's the same loot as you'd imagine. Hello, Mark.
The army arrives tomorrow. That's not the train we were waiting for.
See who my audience is now. They rarely applaud, they never call encore. They also never boo us. And, as you can see, we have a full house every night. Tell me, has Olginskys the Younger really sold you several vials of panacea? Didn't even sell them, he gave them to me basically for free. Maybe for a token of payment, you know. I never expected something like this from him. I would suspect an intricate and crafty scheme on his part. I think I have also changed. So I believe him. Did Vlad really let someone else have his panacea? I didn't believe him. Yes, he's given his panacea to the girls that have once almost died through his fault. At least he thinks so now. Actually, it's very typical of a person of his temper in a situation like this. He's giving his possessions away with a firm and steady hand, paying the old debts. Who are these girls? Oh, fine. He gave it to the girls, to Yulia, Lara, the third one that begs to keep her name secret under any circumstances. Think of them as 3 parse. See, thank you, Mark. So, I'm guessing that the third girl is an angel. Because, well, yeah. Lara, Yulia, and Anna. Alright. Let's go talk to them then. Given that the quest ended, I'm guessing that there's gonna be a new quest attached to that, and we don't even know what the main quest is yet. At worst, we're going to have to just make a blind shot and say that we have to go talk to Aglaela. Because, I don't know, she's the important one now. You know what? I just thought of something. Remember I was saying that, well, the plague has to survive on something that's living. And I said that, like, the streets, the concrete walls, they all have flesh and scabs, blood, inorganically growing on them. And the town is in the shape of a bowl. I have the horrible thought that this town may be more organic than we'd like to accept. Perhaps not literally, perhaps on a metaphorical sense, but that would explain why the plague, well, not explain, but it would create more of a picture on why the plague spreads exactly on the cuts of this bowl. Like the plague is of the town, of the world, of this bowl, I guess. Of course, I don't have much evidence for this yet. It's all just a very strange sequence of circumstances, but it's strange.
Was it a month ago? I can't remember.
Tomorrow, this place will be crawling with soldiers. Oh, what will become of us? And every new rumor I hear contradicts the previous one. Lara, is it true that Vlad the Younger has sold you panacea? No, it's not. Oh, why do you even have to ask? Are you all trying to torture me on purpose? But you're a lousy liar. Are you oath-bound? I am. Forgive me. It's fine. It's fine. I know what happened anyway. You know what? Please come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about it once more. Tomorrow everything will change. It's about many various intertwining plots and agendas. As for now, I don't have a panacea. Sorry. Fine. I'll come back tomorrow. By the way, do you by any chance know the unit number of the troops that have been sent here? No, I don't. Alright, let's check up on Yulia then. Does she have the panacea on her? And what's she planning to do with it? Better not be anything like day 4, where she's planning to get herself infected and test it out. At that point, I wouldn't feel too bad with taking it off of her to, I don't know, stop having a child like Sticky be sick. Oh yeah, the third mystery girl is sick, aren't they? I have to find a way to talk to her then. Perhaps I'll need to go grab a powder to talk to Anna. I am really good with shanking these rats. I was going to make a PETA joke, but they probably do far more cruel things with rats than I do. Ayo, politics.
The most subtle folly grows out of the most subtle wisdom.
I had a feeling you were about to pay me a visit. That's the tripwires of faith for you. Sorry if I sound a bit too assertive. Tell me, Yulia, is it true that Vlad Olginskys gave you a vial of panacea? So this is the panacea after all. Incredible. Didn't you know? Told me that Burak has managed to compound a cure. He said that I should drink the contents of the vial if I started to feel unwell. It's interesting to note that he warned me, quite deliberately, against telling Clara about it. I gave him a nod of absent-minded consent, and... what do you know, the very next moment, Clara was at my doorstep. And who else did Vlad the Younger offer panacea to? You know what? Come back tomorrow. We'll be able to hold a much more productive conversation then, which may be of some use to both of us. Meanwhile, I need to think. You see, everything that went on is rather curious in the light of certain theories I entertain. Numbers, equations, calculations of possibility, everything you don't seem to be too fond of yourself. Very well, I'll come back tomorrow. I guess the, girls of the Bound all have something planned tomorrow. But there's no... it doesn't hurt to check up on Anna. Especially since she was sick. Or is sick. Gonna see if I can buy a pin. Nah. I also like to see one of the townswomen, because my clothes are falling apart. And you know, if I can take more hits without contracting more plague, that's always a good thing. So... Anna's down there. Easy peasy. Although I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I can actually give her old antibiotics to talk to her again, just like for a day. If that is true, then I could use some of my what's it called? What's it called again? I don't want to make a fool out of myself. Drugs. Monomycinium. Yeah. Oh, there's one of the women. Let me talk to her. I haven't seen a kid in a long time, though. Doot, 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 doot. That's 10,000. But again... oh, right, I have to re-equip it to get the No, let me check. Does loading, do it too? I have a monomycene. That should help them live to see tomorrow. Then we'll see midnight. The deceased will peek out from the other world for a little while today. I'll put them to sleep at midnight again. Give me the medicine and come in. I'm going in. There, so we gotta give them monomycinium.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I can't check up on her. I swore she was the mysterious one because she's the... well, she's very paranoid. Sound up her alley to not want to be known getting panacea from the Olginskys. Probably because that would undermine her story with them. Oh yeah, they gave you a cure for the plague, which clearly didn't help you given the beakheads out here. Yeah, I'm realizing why my logic was faulty given that we saw the beakhead earlier, but I will sweep that under the floor and pretend like I didn't notice that. Which is to say that I am to act like the fool. For the fool I am. Let's head back to the Termitary with the blood sample. We're using the knife so we can go for rats. Where can we get it? Yeah, I got the rat! I got the rat! I didn't get kill credit for it. Anyways, now that we have a rat... well, first off, thank you for the hazelnuts. But would you like a fine, brand spanking new rat? A living gray rat. Not very large, but nimble. Have it. I hope you get cancer and die. So anyways, how are you guys? You doing good? I hope you're doing good. Hello, Burak.
What was that?
I've checked the blood. Whose blood is it, Burak? It's not human. The results, Oyun. You know I can't tell you. I'm bound by a word given. I thought that was something you respected. Alright, well, in short, yes, it does produce two types of antibodies. One stops the horned bacteria from propagating, another one kills them. We've got a unicum here. Unicum. Then you're free to go and test my makeshift panacea on someone. It should work. And how much of this potion can be made? Not much for now. 10, 15 doses. Save it, Oyun. We tested it. My word will be my bond. Should be effective. Fine enough then, I'll try it. By I'll try it, I mean I will hoard it. I'm probably gonna save it for the final day before I use it, and I'm going to just assume that it's good because I'm such a great doctor. As of today, my mission remains obscure indeed. 2 side quests down. So, do we have any notes? Because that would be very helpful right now. None. An evening letter from the Inquisitor, day 7. Yes, they've played a cruel joke on us. You know, Denkovsky, there are costs involved in being who we are. People like us. Ingenious to an extent of being dangerous. Are always put on the front line. They set us goals which are pointless in that they are impossible to achieve. In a desperate bid that we figure out how to deal with them. We are a low-value card which may be of use if it wins, and worth no regret if it is beaten. Having been made aware of this attitude, we have no choice but to avenge it. I detest hypocrisy, as do you. I believe, let us make the hypocrites regret their sanctimony. Their smug self-assurance is based on their deluded belief that we will not be able to carry out their orders. Did they advise you to deal with the plague in a manner your conscience would suggest? Do that. Have no fear. I've been told to eradicate the disease at any cost, and as elegantly as possible. This is what they are going to get. We'll discuss the matter tomorrow. However, this was my desperation speaking. Burn the letter. So yeah, yesterday's letter tells us to go see her. So, now that we are literally on the other side of the entire map, let us go all the way back to the stone yard. And hope we find a little girl to trade with, because, I'm getting desperate. Oh, I missed. Don't mind as I just stand back here, boy. There we go. Good boy. $20. Yeah. Crackers. So, Sticky can just, reign in pain in there. You know, he might get reinfected later, so you might as well extend his misery until you're safe. Just, don't quote me on that. I don't like the misery of children, I swear. I just eat their dreams. Let's get back out the knife in case we find any more rats. Yeah, we're not gonna be seeing kids today. The Stoneyard's our best bet for trading. Oh shit, there's a kid over there. I was wrong. I was dumb. Get over here, girl. Yeah. Shotgun shells, fuck. What is it, my fair lady? Do you have any nuts? Why are you looking for nuts? First of all, you can play with them. Now you can eat them, too. Didn't you eat nuts before? Well, would we eat you? Of course we wouldn't. And you're obviously nuts, too, eating nuts. It's like eating your kitten or your stamps collection. Every nut is a story, a chronicle of adventures. They even have names, but recently we've began eating them. We have to choose each time which of them goes. It does indeed sound very sad. You thought I was gonna make a vor joke. I have more respect than that. If you want vor jokes, just go to the Pathologic Discord. They, certainly like their albinos with distended jaws and large bulging stomachs. I didn't say anything. Yes, I just make struggle noises whenever I feel hopeless, and there's more orange plague. Get away from me. Get away from me, I have a man to murder. Senseless murder. Let me over. Oh, what a great job you were doing, Mr. Guardman. He had 1,000 shekels. That's like a piece of bread today, and only today. And this guy's just hoarding pickles. We have a bunch of combustible fluid. Let's talk to the guards. Dried meat and vegetables, no. Got more hazelnuts for if we ever find the little short girls, which will give us powders. I wish. A man can dream. Fresh meat, that's worth it. Well, no, actually we have plenty of meat. Let's buy ammo because trading for ammo is getting a bit vicious. Great combat here, guys. Doing just stellar, honestly. Water. There's this really, oh. First off, before I read this guy's dialogue, there's this really funny video of this game called Everybody's Going to the Gulags, and ever since I watched that, I just love the death sound for these guys. They just go, Just for some reason, on their copy of the game, killing arsonists just sounds especially loud and airy, and it tickles me. If you see a mugger, barber, looter, fire starter, any violent person really, you go ahead and whistle or call for the guards. Just enunciate the word, will you? G-U-A-R-D-S. Otherwise we may confuse it for the shrieks of the infected. And they're wailing constantly, you see, loud and collectively too. So you're patrolling the streets. Be so kind and protect those who can't stand up for themselves. Yeah, that's the patrolling guard. They don't stand in one position, and they don't trade either. Silver ring, hook. Oh, I don't even need to use a hook. Nice. Keeping the gold ring to sell tomorrow. Because 2 days of good prices, that ain't gonna last. This is Pathologic. The second day was the most pricey day in the entire game. I don't trust this game to be nice. I'll trade some knives for that. One and a watch will do it. 8. Well, I'll get 1 ruble out of this, so it's fine. I didn't loot these bins over here, so let me grab them. Might as well finish up the stone yard while we're here. Another gold ring, never hurts. And a pin, of course. But pins are rapidly losing value. Should also be using the revolver more, I just kinda forgot about it. Let's reload it. Now, looking at this place, it's funny. Usually every location in the game is hit by now, but quite distinctly, the works and this long area of the the stone yard just haven't been struck, which is funny. And I really hope that they don't get hit for the rest of the game, but I highly doubt that.
The dream party has failed its task.
The first part of the game is over, Bachelor Dinkovsky. Its meaning has been as follows. The powers that be gave you a task with a catch, to learn the truth. They set a definitive condition. This truth has to be nice. Your honor and the fate of your laboratory were at stake. Would you care to learn something? Go ahead. Thanatica has already been destroyed. There's nothing left. The place itself is in ruins. Your research is in ashes. Your papers have been burned. Wretched Telman made sure of it personally, and I'm going to tell you about the law. Why not? Go ahead. In accordance with the law, the very logic of our world inevitably dictates the destruction of anything unnatural. Anything that tries to break its own non-capitalized laws. The disease is nothing more than a tool. It is an instrument of inevitability. And yet I have sworn to destroy this enemy. Inevitability, gruesome inevitability, is our true enemy. An enemy that cannot be defeated by anyone, anywhere. The only thing you can do is get what's dear to you out of its way. Don't make enemies with inevitability. This preaching would have made more sense before the plague. Say what you will, but fighting this enemy is my duty, as it is yours. You're right. Second part of the game is beginning. Our current task is to remain true to ourselves. We'll keep the word we've been given to the powers that be. Both of us. It wasn't just you, mind. We'll uncover the truth. Take a foreign detail out of the mechanism, and stop the rot before it devours the land. We only have to find out how it started. So we're back to the source now. Sources. It's always about sources, isn't it? We just can't get away from them. We sorcerers, if you pardon the lame pun, but sorcerers do not wield magic. The source. I'll tell you where to look for the source. So you think you're well aware of the law, aren't you? You think I am? Well, I think you aren't. Let me tell you about the law. It's not a state law, but rather a natural one. When mysterious evil emerges from non-existence, it's a clear sign that this law has been violated. The disease is a retribution for trespassers. It's an attempt to restore the balance. I can see where you're going with this. The town is a miraculous cosmos, and it's the cosmos for its inhabitants. It's too remote, too, distant from the rest of the world to serve as an effective part of any mechanism. So it's a mechanism in and of itself. A mechanism that's been disrupted. There's been a flaw, a blemish, a redundant detail, perhaps. I want to find it. I see your point. Well, if the line of thinking you've just demonstrated was sincere, I'd be willing to agree with you.
I'm dead tired.
So, there's a faulty detail in this mechanism of ours. We only need to find it. Where do we start? What would you suggest? The Polyhedron. It's the most recent construction project the town has had. According to your notes, the disease might have sprung from below the ground, am I correct? Indeed, just like the previous plague pandemic, that epidemiological hazard appeared in the south during coal mining, and the climate was comparable to the local one too, by the way. Have you already checked water, specifically river water? There is a suspicious spring around here, but people have been using it for a long time. How about we check this hypothesis thoroughly, though? Before we get on with inspecting buildings, we need to make sure the disease was not waterborne. Wells, springs, the river, maybe a young news stream, anything. Alright, there is a suspicious well I'd like to check. Can you tell me about this suspicious well? Young Vladislav Olginskys has a rather peculiar hobby. I've been told that he's looking for old cultural layers, the remnants of an ancient culture or something. I've also been told that he's looking for oil. Another explanation sounds convincing. What kind of person is he? A trustworthy kind, I think. Is this the reason why you two have managed to get on until now, without breaching the subject of the well? Yes. Investigate this further. Ask him. If he refuses to talk, well, there are a number of ways to inspire social interaction. And no, I'm obviously not implying torture. It just may so happen that he suddenly gets in the mood to explain everything to you. You may need a fair hearing to justify his actions. Do you understand? Sounds very much doable. I'll talk to him. And this is today's quest. Subterranean rot. Alright, let's go talk to Vladislav. I wonder if Glayla knows what she's talking about. She's talking about some quite theoretical and possibly... No, I think it can accurately be described as philosophical stuff there. I haven't seen it myself, but with a town this strange, where blood grows on walls, very well, maybe there is an order of the natural world, and this plague is a tool of it. Something to, I guess, wipe out humanity. Or not humanity, just the denizens of this place? Or maybe it's not the people it's targeting. And if we want to follow the idea of bulls, perhaps the plague can be considered antibodies of their own. Blood cells. Fighting off an infection of its own. Be it the infection is human, or the infection is something else, which also happens to be lethal to humans. I was able to tank that because of my clothes. Thank God. Thanks for the fresh meat. Vegetable. The well is full of rocks now. Bull.
Interest speaks all sorts of tongues and plays all kinds of characters, even that of disinterest.
Why did you fill your well up with earth? Can I please just refuse to answer that question? If I am not mistaken, since yesterday, you're no longer the authorized envoy of the powers that be in the town. You can, but then Aglaila Lilac will be the one doing the asking. It's actually rather bizarre that she hasn't done that so far. She doesn't know about the tag lure. Of course she does. An Inquisitor is by definition a person who knows everything. I'm waiting for the detailed story. What are you trying to dig up? And more importantly, what have you dug up already? Tough luck, Doctor. I don't trust you. My confession wouldn't be of any use to you, but it could raise too much noise. Drawing all the wrong conclusions. The consequences could be tragic. Especially if the Inquisitor and the Commander get involved. They will. That much I can guarantee you. Here lives an old enemy of the Olginskys. Since they've decided to stand against me, perhaps Aspity can be my ally for the time being. I don't know why we're going to Aspity instead of Aglaila, but... Sure thing, game. I will go talk to the old Earth woman. Who made perverted jokes in my expense. Drunkard, give me your bandages. Nothing. Don't make me turn to the big medkits. They're so shite. So my immunity is down, so I'll use another thing of the Tuirin extract. And I'll use the bandage set, why not? This bridge is a strange set of industry for this town. There's a lot of clashing iconography going on here. This town feels very... like it's an advanced tribal community. It's a village. Sort of. Or it just feels like a village, less so than it actually is. It's mixed with a bunch of strange structures, ranging from those big dark towers to the miraculous polyhedron to even the big dirty, the big mound of dirt that is the abattoir. And none of those big three mesh together really well. An old town and industry. An old town in just bizarre magical contrivances of what humans believe. Well, I suppose the polyhedron challenge is, at least on face level, the polyhedron challenge is gravity. It doesn't make sense. By all means, it should collapse, but it just doesn't. Uh-oh. Fuck. That was a bad hit. And God knows what's going on in the Avatar. Such a strange mix of concepts, but it meshes into the story well, which is strange, too.
The Inquisitor proceeds with her terrible harvest. Is she pretty at least? Baby doll?
That bitch. She has us all over a barrel. Sir freaking prize. Aspity, say, do you by any chance know what Vlad the Younger was digging out? Ah, the leech won't crack. Thinks he's the smartest. And also, he seems to think that he can get out of this deal in that well with his hands and name clean. But that's fine. I know how to make him talk, alright. How? It's simple. Just reveal to the world all those thousands of lives that have perished in a few days because of him. And to think that I, a simple girl that I am, blame the father. Shame. What a shame. What are you talking about? It was he who ordered to close down the Termitary. He hid the truth from his father, blamed it all on some imaginary strike. He knew how to get to the old man, to make him mad, to make him damn everyone inside. Right, so he knew about the epidemic beforehand. Spot on. Who told you that? Well, there were survivors in the Termitary, and they did get out, and the stories they tell, they make my blood run even colder than it naturally is. So there were more deaths than the survivors. Yeah. On the other hand, he is a loyal son still. He wouldn't like to see his father's head roll. And oh, can the mother make heads roll? Both of them will stick to that secret tooth and nail. I'd have a go on it myself, but that Changeling girl is a better idea. Now I'll have something to talk to Vlad the Younger about. He'll tell me about his business, alright? In every bloody detail. What does the Changeling have to do with this? Whatever the answer is, I'm going to be walking for another, like, 5 minutes. So, get comfy, everyone. Enjoy the plague music. Thank you for the revolver round. I'll be using that to murder this poor sod. Don't hit me with that stupid knife. Oh, this knife is durability 0, which means it deals quite little damage. Fortunately, I can compensate that a bit by aiming for the head, because melee weapons can deal headshot damage. Thank Christ. Trade with this guy, and then we'll head back to Vlad the Younger. And he had nothing. What a great guard. So, I suppose I should mention something else about why the combat is so terrible in this game. As you can see, the knife has a couple of, swinging animation. Come on, stop doing the good one. Yeah, the long strike. These attacks, they all, the animation isn't just for show. The hit times also go with it. So, that quick jab is genuinely a quicker way to deal damage than the long, winded-up one. So if you get those quick jabs a bunch in a row, you can deal some quick damage. But that's unlikely, and in fact, it is far more likely that you're just going to get multiple of the broad swings. And there is some good timing you can get on enemies that is dependent on you getting good swings. Or not even swings, just the jab motion. The jab motion is quick and to the face. The other one, you have to let it wind up a bit and then move into them, which takes time. My immunity did not even show up. Fuck off. Nah, you ain't getting me. Nah. Come on, fade away. Thank you. Don't touch me, woman. I didn't mean it to come out that... I didn't mean it to come out that sexist. It's literally agonized women shambling towards me to give me the plague. I would say that there's men, but all of their death cries are feminine, so... yeah. Come on, hit. Cool. Wonk combat. My favorite. More bandages? No. These guys are really low on bandages. Oh, there's the backstab. Oh, hey. Hey, woman. Hey, rat. Fuck you. These guards are so good. Whoop. He killed a guard in front of another guard, and the guard doesn't care until he fights the doctor man. And then I do his work for him. What a game. I also have 100 flasks of water. People wish they were me. Oh, that's an arsonist. Oh, you're one of them. Barter, dried meat, nah. Revolver bullets, of course. You got anything cool, mate? Nope. Alright,
We
spit
promise
up.
according to our hopes. We perform according to our fears.
So this is the person who's responsible for turning the Termitary into a mass grave. Who told you that? That's not important. What's important is whether I'm going to relay that to the Inquisitor. No use denying it now. I knew that the truth would come out when the Termitary is unlocked. I just hoped I would have time before that. No such luck, I suppose. So you did your best to conceal this, huh? Perhaps you know more about the plague than you show either. What with this well of yours? I did indeed hide a certain crime I've committed, and I believe that something nasty was indeed dug up. It bred deadly bacteria. The only snag here is that those two insightful observations are not connected in any fashion. So you knew that the bacteria originated underground, and you never told me. I don't know anything for sure. Moreover, I found nothing to support that theory. The earth in the well is clean, and the deeper I dig, the cleaner and denser it becomes. Pure sand and solid white clay. But why didn't you tell me of your suspicions? Because if my theory is proven to be correct, we would have had no choice but to raze the town's residential districts, and wipe out everything between the abattoir and the Gorkin. Why in the world? Over the years, the people have bored countless holes in the ground. All for naught. They have hit a layer of compacted clay. The town is full of those dead-end burrows, those underground creep holes. Who would ever believe that they all came to solid rock like a prisoner's tunnel comes to a brick wall? It's not a good enough reason to give that order. I can't peek inside your head, now can I? Perhaps you wouldn't issue that order, but the general, who's arriving here with his forces tomorrow, wouldn't listen to you mumbling that it's nothing more than a theory. He'd just do it. Perhaps you're not far from the truth. Can you swear to me that there was nothing in the well, on your family's honor? Yes, you can have a sample and analyze it if you will. A sample of sand and clay, if it's necessary. You can even call my people and have them dig it up again. But honestly, you're going to need a deeper hole than that. No need for that. How can I get into the abattoir? I've only been in there 4 times in my life. The only way in for me has been through the Termitary. Every morning a crowd of workmen come out of it, walks between the building, and is swallowed up by the abattoir's main entrance. The one they call Gorge. Tychik would always open and close it himself, but now he's dead, and you're out of luck. Yes, I am aware of that. So more is revealed. If the ground is infected, then kin to veins. Suppose now we should go see Tychik. Yeah, that seems correct. Go see Tai Chick and see what she wants. See if she'll let me in. If the Termitary or the abattoir is just a giant heap of dirt, then, well, perhaps we can get the samples we need from there, preferably without riling up the Olginskys men. Until then, it's another 5-minute walk to the Termitary. I think you can understand why this game's obscure. Besides being, well, a reading game. Reading games don't sell well in general. But, it also has all this damn walking. Personally, I don't mind it. I don't care. But as reviewers like Mandalore, who did like the game, have said, there's just such an insane amount of constant walking. And that is absolutely true. The amount of walking here is insane. I'm just patient. I am so lucky not to have been nailed by that. Fortunately, I didn't get kill credits, so I get nothing for fighting. Besides, Mongolian trip-hop. Yeah, there's just an insane amount of inane walking around, and you've noticed that some objectives, like walking to from Vlad the Younger to Aspity, it just takes a long time. It's a lot of walking. Fortunately, there's things in the middle of it. This game would be unbearable without enemies, rats, and this plague mechanic. If there was no plague spreading around, walking around would be unbearable, but there's challenges along the way. It doesn't excuse it entirely, but this could have been so much more cruel. Despite that, it is still indeed a lot of wasted time, honestly. But there's something here. It could have been just god-awful if the devs didn't make this game as interesting as it is. You're really here for the writing, honestly. I mean, the music, art, and all of that is fascinating for sure, but if you can't get into the story, what is there here? There's walking, and quite distinctly miserable, survival mechanics. These beaters aren't fun to deal with, and I really doubt they're supposed to be fun. Of course, I'm just dealing with it because I'm good at the game. I know how to do it, so I don't struggle with it, but any one of your first times playing this game is going to be miserable. And atmospherically, that is the most appropriate atmosphere for the game. Just depression. Still though, I believe that with its writing, the game is so well written that genuinely it is worth the trip if you can get into this. Because all of this stuff, at least to me, I think it's incredibly fascinating. But you may not think so, and so this game would feel like a waste of time. Just a bunch of inane, boring quests. And walking. So much walking. Also remember that this is like if you play all the routes, this is like a 60-hour game. Each route takes like 20 hours each. So you're also spending a bunch of hours to see everything. All the while, again, all of this walking for 60 hours. You're here for the story. If you aren't here for the story, what are you into? What kind of psychopath are you? Still though, genuinely, I think this is a very good game. I think that the writing does hold it up to where, you know, sometimes a game can execute the one thing it's good at so well that it's still worth playing. The game may be unfun, sprawling in the worst way, and all that stuff, but it's so damn fascinating to experience that I can still come out of these sessions and say, you know what, I had a good time. That was always what I was thinking by the end of it. Trudging through all of this was miserable at the moment, but I'd stop playing, I'd get off from playing the game, and I'd say, I loved that. That was amazing. Which probably makes me the psychopath, but I never said I wasn't pretentious. I just really appreciate this stuff.
So, the lady that came here decided to look into the abattoir. Nothing good will come out of this.
There he is! Here he comes! Listen, everyone! This is a doctor. He come from outside. Will you do me a favor? Gladly. Will you let me into the abattoir then? Will you bring me the person that got us all locked in here when everybody got sick? And what would happen to that person? Well, I'd want to ask him why he had us locked up, and then ask him some more. It doesn't take a genius to see that you're going to kill him. No, we're not going to kill him. We'll take him. I refuse. If you do what I'm asking of you, I'll open the passage to the abattoir for you. No, I need to get into abattoir, but not at the cost of someone's life. And I know that I would sentence that person to death were I to agree. Then perhaps you can bring me a toy. Now we're talking. That I can do easily. What toy would you like? I don't need just any toy. I need the toy. My supreme calf. I'll show you where the guys have left him. Please be so kind. Oh, this is the House of the Living. Yeah, sure. So yeah, most players feel like they're gonna get strong-armed into taking one of the Olginskys in to be, well, obviously executed. If you deny it, you don't just force one of your bound to die that night. You can just bring her a little toy. And you get to save a bound's life. If you ask me, that is an utter win-win, and I will go into a plague house gladly. I do have if you remember, I have a vaccine. So we can raid a couple of, we can raid a couple of plague houses without getting hurt. Everything's fitting together. Nobody has to die. On my first playthrough, I admit I didn't know that option was there, so I unfortunately sent Big Vlad Olginskys to his death. Which is, yeah, I didn't like doing that. I do have compassion for these people. Of course, they're all trying to use me, but nobody deserves this. I mean, look at this person. Now, I say that, I keep mentioning nuance in murder, or there being no nuance to murder, and I walk up behind this guy and shoot him in the back, for loot. I'm trying to keep some semblance of nuance, but then there's also, I need to live. The doctor kills to live. There are no named extra. I can afford to chop his head off. Yeah, that's my excuse. Yeah, yeah. They're just extras, you know. You know what? Getting this toy probably relies on a district being infected. I wonder if, on day 8, the Chine is always infected. It is the Chine, yeah? No, the gut. The gut's always infected. Because that would make sense for this, structure. Or else you'd need to use a lockpick to break in. Or the place is burnt out and suddenly there's a bunch of marauders. I'll take some rifle ammunition. Thank you, little girl. Glad we're getting our trading in now. Barter. Yep. Rifle round. Smoked meat. Rifle rounds, I'll take it. For the edgy kids, we can use nuts for the top character, and watches and razors for the teenagers. Because I just have weird excess of those. I might as well. I need to heal using a tourniquet anyways. And I have an insane amount of water anyways. That quick swipe is such a nuisance. I'm sorry, despite being natively English, I am also natively stupid. All I know is video game. Rifle round. And now that we're here, let us use... yeah. Take the vaccine, and then we'll use some immunity. I think I was at full immunity and didn't notice. Now let's actually loot this place this time without a, executor in the way. Oh shit. Finally, we have a use for the kerosene. That's a weirdly unlootable chest, alright. And there's the toy. And some rifle rounds. And while the vaccine's going, I'm gonna loot a couple of places. Just because you might as well be efficient with the day. Limonge. Make this one out. We don't want to waste through the, you can still get infected while on it. It just adds a big shield. So, you know. The vaccine gives you a nice buffer, but it's not infinite. The best of many things come from caution. So now, let's just start looting from the dead. They don't need it anymore. Rifle round. I remember there's a house in here where there's just an excessively small cabinet, and I want to show that to people. Why? I don't know. I just want to show people the excessively small cabinet. It's a noble goal. This is also a weird layout for this house. Usually, it isn't like this, but... Actually, yeah, I've never seen this layout for this design of house. It's kind of odd that they have, like, rare variations of homes. Just kind of strewn about in the city. I don't think they actually spawn any special loot, though. Yeah, this is usually a bathroom, but now it's a kitchen. That was a interesting clutch. I'll come back for the money once I am done looting this room. I like how the women grunt like men. Thank you. I don't even really do that for the money because the money is incredibly little. Genuinely, I just do that because it's the right thing to do, I suppose. I'm a pretty shit doctor going around massacring people, but if that's the least I can do, it's the least I can do. This is another weird layout for this house. I'm glad that that's the theme of this area. Turin. Well, this is the one where this area isn't barred. Usually this door is closed off, but now, not anymore. I'll come back for you. Let's eat some random food. There. Quick save. Live with my current mistakes. Whatever those mistakes are. Ooh, 2 revolver rounds. I think saying that is probably still better than accidentally calling them, pistol bullets. Feels slightly more dignified, but not much. Good night, sleep tight, lady. Enjoy your floating pillow. You know, your pillow may be imbued with some of the magic that went into the polyhedron. Good for you. I'm really glad that things just float in this town. That's a great theme for a town, floating. I think some furries will take that out of context. Please don't. I'm looking at you, Prangle. I see you. Pin. Give me it. See, floating in the town, pins, it all goes together, right? Please just end my suffering. I don't know how I got hit, but you know, fair enough. Not like I care, I'm on the vaccine. Lasts for like 2 hours, and how long do we have? We still have time to loot. Oh shit. This is a burnt house. I could have just walked into that guy and died. Or woman. I'm not really sure about their gender. I also don't think their gender matters, even remotely, in this context. Hell, even the sound effects don't care about gender. Men make women's grunts. all of the infected people are women. Tis a city game. I think I was just over here, so let's head upstairs. Hello, Mr. Plague. Interesting pop in on the curtains. Or, well, sheets and bloodied stuff. And I'm just getting stuck on geometry. That's how it goes. Wonky Russian games are wonky Russian games. Oh yeah, I remember this style of house. Remember when we got trapped into one of these? Wasn't that so fun? Also, I successfully jumped over the cloud. Yay. It's a lot of hooks. Did it again. Aren't they so great? At least now we're being stocked up on ammo. Oops, I stood still for a bit too long. Also, I have no room for weapons anymore, so I can't pick up the lockpicks, because I have so many knives on me. I don't know why you were able to just loot that really flat board, but, it works. I have a space heater on next to me, it's just toasting my leg right now. Yeah, Plague. I just want to grill, for God's sakes. Oh, great. Worthwhile loot. I'm just hoping I get powders from one of these houses. More kerosene. It's something. It ain't losing. Come on, give me something good. I can't loot that, because contrivance. Painkillers are okay. Oops, I'm out of kerosene. Great. Flip, 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 flip. Alright, by touching that plague cloud, I know I still have some time on the thing, but I'll say at 1700 we'll stop fucking around. No, actually, I'm going to do only one more home. That's gonna be my limitation. Can't have this entire episode be haha, hoo hoo, hee hee. Linder loots from the dead because he's a prick. Thank you for all the ammo, though. It's really nice. Oh, kerosene, yeah. I think my clothes are just, like, busted because of all this. Oh, my clothes are actually still pretty okay. Alright. I guess my resistances are so good that it's not wearing into the clothing? I don't know what's causing it, but I'll take it. I ain't complaining. And as a final act of kind gesture, I'll heal this person up here. Yes, I found it! Ignore the dying person. Tiny cabinet. Tiny. Yeah. Yeah, I think I showed it off in the Discord, but it was on my Tumblr for a while. Until I deleted my Tumblr because it's a garbage hell site. I mean, they banned porn. Where am I supposed to get my albino vor now? Discord memes. Ugh. Alright, that's enough fucking around in infected houses. I was hoping I'd get lucky with a powders drop. I've learned nothing. I want to do another. Final one, I swear. You won't have to listen to the song again. At least until tonight. Can't fit any shotgun shells because, again, my weapon slot is full. Come on, give me some powders. Wow, this house is terrible on the loot. I'm so glad I went in here. At least I can demonstrate how powerful this vaccine plus clothing is. Able to just barrel through plague. Ah, tiny. Oh yeah, kerosene, yeah. Damn. I can't help you, lady. Also, if you give them painkillers that doesn't amount to all of their pain... Oh, great, 1 bullet. Oh, thank you, game. You saved my life. If you don't decrease all of their pain entirely, it doesn't count. You don't get a reputation boost, and you don't get the money. It's treated as if they're in just as much pain as they were before. Ungrateful bastards. Anyways, let's head back to the abattoir with the toy. Drifter man, I brought you some water. God, I have so many hooks now. Might as well get some monomycinium. And I'll double back here so I can sell off a bunch of lockpicks to the medicine shop, because I'm not gonna wait until tomorrow for that. Oh yeah, this is a really good stockpile of ammo. Lockpicks, and then we'll save everything else. Alright, Taya, I got your little toy Urok. Let's get on with it. I will say, though, even though I'm sparing the life, effectively, of the Olginskys, it's weird. I don't want them dead, but I do believe they should be brought to some kind of justice. Obviously, they caused the deaths of a lot of these, steppe people. But, just... now isn't the time for that, I suppose. These people are gonna kill them. And if we can end this with them behind bars instead, or I don't know, have them chip in against the plague still, it's worth keeping around, even if they've committed some terrible, terrible deeds so far. Could even be said that all the worms we see dying on the ground here are because of them. Although, I would say that this place getting infected was inevitable. Again, it is nothing like the polyhedron. Grounded and simple, while the polyhedron is almost mythical and way high up. Certainly has better innate defenses.
What?
I brought you to Calf. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Thank you. Tell the butchers to let me in, please. I will. You'll get the rite of passage. Come back half an hour before midnight. The boulder will be rolled away. Alright. Believe that is everything. 2 side quests done. Let's check our notes. How respects his choice. The truth reveals itself to me, Oyun. I have claimed my father's grievous inheritance. I have made my choice. I believe that the settlement can be saved. It is alive. The kin still lives, even though my father, who was destined to lead it, has died. The kin is nourished and sustained by the earth that knows how to breathe. A new harvest may be nurtured here. I devote my life to service the kin, just as the lines of my family enjoin me to. I will change this town. I will be reborn to live anew. Victoria Olginskys, the White Mistress, will breathe life into it. The fallen families will be replaced by those marked by the sign of the spirits. Children they are, Taya Taichik, Chefton Notkin, Blessed Grace, Urchins, Murky and Sticky, and possibly one whom I did not get to meet. He goes by the name of Khan. If they survive, so will the town. If you want the town to live just like I do, then help me. At least don't interfere with my actions. Woe is you if any one of the children die, for they are meant to inherit the earth. Note from Ian. Strange guests are walking around all around your house. I am uneasy around them. Please come back soon. Jeez. So what I was saying about bounds? Yeah. Sticky, Khan, just the children of the town are his bound. And he is rooting for them as the faction, or I suppose you could call it a faction, called the Termites. And, of course, so far, I have no reason not to trust him. Out of everybody so far, he is the one person who hasn't backstabbed me. Plus, I should be saving people anyways. I will take care of his children, and you know what? As a sign of good faith, before I sleep in with Sabirov to pass time, I will go and give the panacea to Sticky. I assume I still have it on me. Yeah, I do. I'm not sure if Khan can get infected, because that wouldn't make too much sense, but... Stop barking, beakhead. Here, I have a panacea. Let me in, I'll cure them. Give it to me. It is I who bring them back. Take it. We might as well say hi since we saved his life.
This joint won't break. It's made of metal.
Nothing important. So, there. I align myself with the horror specs. And for the good of the town. As you see, the beakhead is gone, which means, successfully, that member of the Bound is no longer in danger. I think they can still get infected later, but just for the show-offiness of just saying, it makes sense on a sort of role-playing perspective that I would bring back Sticky. It would also for the rest of the people, but I kind of have to make my balance between the two. Yeah, let's get our sleep. Let's... Novocaine. We will sleep until midnight is about to roll. There. I have been written another note. No, I have not. Alright. Let's head to the Termitary. I'm looking okay. Let's go. I could have also used the panacea on myself, but at this point, with how well you're seeing me deal with the plague, it's wasteful to do so. In fact, it was wasteful to use them the other 2 times. I overestimated how badly this would end for me. So, yeah, during the 2 quests where I was given plague, I could have just moved around it. Kept the no wait, that was tied to a quest. So there was one I could have kept. The, quest where he tested the drugs. I overvalued how tough this would be to deal with. I'm repeating myself, I'll shush. Termitary is about to open. Let me check if I'm still recording though, because I'm paranoid. Yeah, I'm still recording, cool. Do I have to enter from the front or from the back? I'm going to try the front for now. We're in.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
The town is dying. It all ends in less than 4 days. So the army has arrived. The initial cut in which the town is occupied and the worried children ask for the Bachelor's help for the first time ever. And so, the army has arrived. The initial cutscene was incredibly awkward because it really could have used some sound effects. But goddamn, I love janky Russian cutscenes. But on day 9, we have a new force in the town, similar to the Inquisitor, except now they have Nazi imagery associated to them, so that's just fun. So, on the next time, I will see you then.